The Song of Moses. Give ear, O ye heavens, and I will speak. And hear, O earth, and the words of my mouth. So why would Moses say this? Because Moses even knew that the Israelites would be scattered all around the world. And if you look at the curses, Moses mentions more of the curses than the blessings, because he knew that the Israelites were going to fall, okay, and be scattered into all nations, all around the planet. So it reads, that's why it reads, and hear, O earth, and the words of my mouth, and my doctrine, here's the point, and my doctrine shall drop as the rain, and my speech shall distill as the dew. So when the rain comes around, the rain wets everything in sight. Okay? When the rain comes, the rain doesn't just wet a small portion of the planet, which the term, or should I say earth, the term earth means land, from the Hebrew word of raptazah. Okay? So when the rain comes, the rain rains on a lot of portion of land, the majority of the land on the earth. As well as when the dew comes down in the morning. I remember I used to live in Florida, and in the morning time, the dew would come down. And it felt nice, man, falling on your back. You know what I'm saying? So this truth has spread it all around, far away, far ends of the earth. As what Moses prophesied. This was a prophecy. And the thing with Moses, we know that Moses was a Levite. Moses was mistaken as an Egyptian. You know that the Egyptians were so-called black people. Okay? They were another dark-skinned people. So this Bible really is the heritage of the so-called black man. The so-called black man. This is his heritage. Like, we're not reading about these Edomites in this image of divinity. That was a lie. That was all concocted due to the Renaissance period, because they knew that they had to come in the power seat. They knew that they were going to come in the power seat, and in order for them to rule, they had to paint themselves as the people of the gospel, and show this lie that they're the faces of divinity, when in fact they're the devil that the Bible speaks about. And that proves that they're the devil, based on what they did to the history, the dark art. Okay, which the word devil just simply means to be a deceiver. So they've used themselves, and with that being said, spreaded all of their garbage around, their version of Christianity around, to deceive the simple, as well as we were simple into that nonsense. When we would pray, we would visualize an Edomite looking Messiah with the long hair and all of that, with the blue eyes and shit, when that's nothing more than a damn lie, man. Okay? So, yeah, man, let's get back to the scriptures. It says, my doctrine shall drop as the rain, and my speech shall distill as the dew, as the small rain upon the tender herb, and as the showers upon the grass. So this truth is going to spread as far as it can spread. And it's happened already. You know, there's a lot of people outside of the West even that know about this Israelite thing. Okay, this thing is growing. It's growing. Even your celebrities know about it now. They even know about it. So if the celebrities know about it, you better believe the average person know about this thing, man. This thing is a big thing. And I notice nowadays when we start setting up, when we actually talk, and we talk at the camp, people don't really usually come up like they used to anymore. I remember there were times when people used to come up, ask questions a lot. You know, there's brothers that be teaching in the main ends, and not many really much people come up to inquire, because it's like they already know. All right, they already know the deal, man. When they see them brothers with the robes on and everything, you know, giving it lows on the streets, they already know what it is, man. They know what it is. They done seen all kind of footage on YouTube, probably elsewhere, different parts of social media. You understand what I'm saying? Like, this thing has grown. It's grown. All right. So if the men continue to preach, then they're going to be blessed. Blessed are they. Blessed are the feet of those that publish the gospel of peace. Because when it's all said and done, all that we have preached unto, whether it's the other nations or whether it's among our people, we gonna get that respect in the kingdom. And those that have renounced what we've been saying, they're gonna be ashamed of themselves. It tells you that in the book of Daniel 12. What is it, 12? I think it's verse 13 or 14. I could be wrong in that. So they gonna honor the the ones that were doing that which was right. Their reasonable service. So now, let's go and get Deuteronomy 32 and verse 3. Because I will publish the name of the Lord, Yahweh, ascribe ye greatness unto our power. So again, this is Moses speaking, but the Lord was speaking through him. The Lord was basically saying, look, I'm going to publish my sayings. I'm going to publish my name. And the way that the Lord has done that is spreading his knowledge around the four corners of the planet. So now we live in a day and a time where people cannot say, oh, I didn't really know. Because if they can say that, that means we didn't do our job. All right? That means we're going to be waiting for the judgment, the wrong kind of judgment. But that's not the reality. The reality is that everyone knows now. And the Lord did that for a reason, because he's about to bring judgment. So whoever knows, knows. Whoever renounced it, they're going to face the judgment. Okay? And when I say judgment, I'm not just meaning, bad judgment. You got good judgment too. But I'm just saying, the Lord is doing his thing for a purpose. Because the Lord is going to bring a complete end to this civilization. All right? So if you heard the word and you grabbed onto it, then you're going to be receiving the rewards of righteousness, a good reward. And those that have renounced it are going to be judged. What's the judgment going to be? We already know that a lot of people are going to take that mark, and that mark is going to get them to be destroyed. That's going to be their judgment. The Lord is going to put the spirit on these people, because they're already going to be discombobulated while all hell is breaking loose out here, and that's going to lead them to take the mark so that they can get back to their comfort. All right? But the men of the Lord, they're going to rough it out to the very end and be comfortable with it, because they're going to know that the Lord is rocking with them. Straight like that. As it is written in the book of Revelations 3, and I think it's verse 15, where it reads that, blessed are those, quoting it wrong. It goes like this. They that keep my word, I will keep thee from the hour of temptation. Kind of going wrong on that, but I'm roughly paraphrasing. So it's those that hold on to the word that will be kept, that will be saved. So it doesn't really matter about what the world has to say about us, and they think what we're saying is incorrect. It doesn't really matter, because when it's all said and done, we are going to be found correct. And this truth is going to what? Show its value. And we're all going to witness the value of this knowledge that we have. All right? We're all going to bear witness to this. Those that don't have it and those that do have it. So now let's continue on and read this. Yeah, Deuteronomy 32 and verse 3 once again. Because I will publish the name of the Lord, ascribe ye greatness unto our power. And they have corrupted themselves. Their spot is not the spot of his children. And they are a perverse and crooked generation, as well as you had it back then, as well as you have it right now. Jacob's got all kind of spots and blemishes on them, man, because they don't want to repent. They don't want to cleanse themselves. They don't want to wash themselves, kibosh themselves with the word. As it is written in the book of Ephesians, the 5th chapter, by the washing through the word, I'll be cleansed. I'm roughly paraphrasing that too. All right, so the word is a cleanser. Once the word cleanses you, then it enlightens you. And then you begin to preach, and then when you preach to the very end, and then you endure this thing to the very end, then the rewards come. Then the blessings are going to come. And that's what we're expecting, because we've put the work in. And as well as it reads in the scriptures that the Lord is not forgettable to forget about our labors. All right? Roughly paraphrasing that as well. So yeah, Yeah, let's get Psalms 80 and verse 7. Psalms 80 and 7, it reads, "Turn us again, O power of hosts, and cause thy face to shine, and we shall be saved." Exactly. So how is that going to be the case? We're going to turn to the one which is known as the way, the truth, and the light. And when we bear him, guess what? We're going to be saved through his light, which is the only light, the only knowledge, the only truth, which is going to deliver us. Okay? There's various information of different belief systems and knowledge of men, but there's only going to be one kind of knowledge that's going to trump all of that, all of the knowledge that men have came up with. It's going to trump all of that, and as well as it's going to show that there's a power above all powers, and that this power has the real kind of wisdom, which is live and well. Okay? And as well as even the natural other nations are going to know that there is a power, and that power is going to claim its people back, the Israelites, so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native American Indians. Okay? So when he's glorified, we're going to be glorified as his sons, and the world is going to know that. And it's all to do because of what? This knowledge. Again, O power of hosts, cause thy face to shine, and we shall be saved. And thou hast brought out of Egypt. Let me read that correctly. Thou hast brought a vine out of Egypt. Who is that vine referring to? Metaphorically, the vine is referring to the Israelites. The vine that he dressed up, the vine that he's watering now. So the deliverance now is going to come in this time. And this one is going to be more miraculous than the one that took place in Egypt. Jeremiah 16 and 14 specifies on that very well. Okay? So this time the world is going to see it. The whole wide world. Because when the Lord comes back, he's going to come back with the multitude of chariots. That's why he's known as the Lord of hosts. Which when you look up that word host, I believe it's in relation to his army, which is the chariots. That's what Esau calls unidentified flying objects, UFOs, or what they call it down here in the UK, AUPs. So these things are going to what? Infiltrate the heavens in this particular realm, and as well as you're going to have the big father ship. And through those ships, we're going to be delivered. And the whole world is going to see this crazy, outlandish, bizarre thing that their minds cannot be able to comprehend. Okay? Hey man, this world is full of secrets, man. This life is full of secrets. You know what I mean? Like the saying goes, reality is what? Stranger than fiction. When you're in the real world, you believe that anything is capable of happening. All right, there's stuff that most people don't think could happen, but it happens every day. You know, we could even talk about the dark magic that certain people get up into doing in secret, sacrificing children, all of them odious works of wickedness that certain secret people do is being done right now. Yeah, but a lot of people don't believe in this stuff because they live in a bubble of their own mind, which is created by their own government. All right, that's why they don't believe it, and it's not really just that. I want to say it correctly. They don't live in the real world. In the real world, anything is capable of happening, good or bad. The most wickedest thing is happening right now that the mind can't even comprehend. All right? So if that's going on, as we know, the Most High is in the power of evil. He's a power of righteousness. The most righteousest thing is going to happen. And guess what? The world is going to see it, and it's going to spook them. Because they never thought that this was even possible, man. Okay? Especially when you look at Jake. You look at as they call us, black people, right? Which that's even an insult in itself, the term black. Which the term black just means you're nothing. Now, if you're into graphics and all of that, what you'll see is 0%. The term black, or the color, the color black is basically 0%. There's no light to it. Okay? It's not even a color. It's nothing. So that term, which really going back to the elder, what's the elder's name, man? One of the elders in Chicago, Malcolm, he brought that out. The whole white and black construct came up around, 1681. Okay? So these are all constructs that were cast upon us so that we can placate to these narratives, man, that the devil has set up. And we can act on these names, because whatever you call yourself, that's what you're going to act out. And you may not be aware of it consciously, but subconsciously you're acting that out. So if you got a bunch of people calling themselves black, and even the way it's pronounced, black, it sounds awful. It sounds terrible, man. You understand what I'm saying? So if you're calling yourself these terms, you're going to act out these terms, because words have meaning and words have life in them. This is why you get the term spell. All right? This is why you get the term spell, because whatever you call yourself, you're casting a spell on yourself. You see? So when you call yourself black, what you're basically saying is you don't exist. You're nothing. You're dirt itself. You're all things negative. And this is why that's part of one of the reasons why most of our people are in the projects, wherever they are in their life, they're struggling and they don't even understand it, because it's the cast that was casted upon them, the term black. Okay? But when you call yourself an Israelite, oh, that's a whole different vibration right there. That's a different frequency. Okay? And when you walk with that frequency, people can see that. That's why sometimes people look at me like I'm crazy or something, man. You know what I mean? Or even you brothers say the same thing. Because you're not caught up in these constructs. You're caught up in the construct that the Father gave us. All right? And the way that we're supposed to conduct ourselves is as the children of the Most High. All right? That's why our forefather Jacob, as we believe in the Spirit, okay, the Holy Spirit reveals all things. His name was Jacob, and his name was later changed to Israel, which means he is the Prince of God. In other words, this is, what's a prince? A son of a king. So when you really break it down in a more of a simplified way, it's more like saying that he is a son of God. Yasha Allah in the Hebrew, Yasha Allah, he is the Prince of the power. So when you're calling yourself an Israelite, again, that's a different frequency. It's a different frequency. Okay? It's like these Edomites, man, they've been getting away with a whole lot, you know? I mean, you want to talk about weapons of mass destruction. I mean, who created these weapons anyway? I mean, we know that, what is it? You got two guys that created these weapons of mass destruction. Albert Einstein and, what's the other guy's name, man? Robert Oppenheimer, if I'm correct. These men were one of the first men to split the atom, to create a weapon of mass destruction. And these are Edomites. But the reason why these devils were able to get away with so much on the earth, because of the term white. And even when you pronounce the term, it's like, it's smooth, it's nice sounding. So you wouldn't think that a group of people that's claiming to be white would do such madness on the earth. But that's how they were able to get away with so much. And that's why a lot of Jakes are deceived and believing that they gotta be people of God too. That's why when you tell our people, look, man, why you so concerned about Esau? They don't even know why. Because it's these social constructs. All right? Because in all reality, of the meaning of the words anyway, they're really the true black people, and we're really the white people. And I say that due to the meaning of the word. Because white symbolizes purity. This is why, for one example, when you get married, guess what? Your wife wears a white dress, which is to symbolize that she's a pure woman. She's a virgin. She hasn't been defiled by nobody else. Okay? But we know that that's not the case. That's not the reality, because the average woman has dealt with many different partners. So that's not true. But I'm just saying that as an example that the term white represents purity. And that's what we are. The elect are that. And they're not. The wicked elite, and as well as the nation as a whole, they don't represent that. They represent blackness, darkness. That's why they do the odious works of wickedness that they do in secret. And the wickedness that they do, which is seen. Because that's just what they are. Okay? So now let me stop talking. Let me get back to the precepts, man. Yeah, so it says, thou hast brought a vine out of Egypt, and thou hast cast out the heathen and planted it. So who are the heathen that was casted out? Those Egyptians, the people of Montezarium, okay, which were a group of Hamites. And thou prepared a room before it, and didst cause it to take deep root, and at it filled the land, and the hills were covered with the shadow of it, and boughs thereof were like the goodly cedars. So the land of Israel was planted, but the land of Israel is going to be planted even more in a greater sense, because when the kingdom is set up, the earth is going to be a paradise, or as the apostle found out, there's another word you can use, parados, which means joy. So the whole earth is going to be a paradise. Hence is why the earth is called Eden. The word Eden means Idan from the Hebrew, which means joy. So the whole earth was supposed to be a planet where you're supposed to enjoy the creation of God. Why you think you got so many different, various, beautiful birds out here? Why you think you got various flowers and stuff that the earth produces? Because the earth is a garden. It's supposed to be a garden where you're supposed to enjoy it. You were put here on earth to enjoy life, not to suffer and to struggle. So this proves that the world that we're living in right now is the wrong kind of world. It's everything wrong with this world. When you know the scriptures, you know that this world is wrong on every step of the way. Because you shouldn't have to struggle to live. Some things, you know what I mean? Like, that's not what the Lord made from the beginning of time. The Lord never made it like this, to where you gotta basically buy water, bro. Water's supposed to be free. All right? Certain things are supposed to be free on the earth, but we're buying these things because it's all to do with these Amalekites and their mentality of just greed. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna end this video here because it's starting to rain now, and I'll probably do a part 2 to this. I don't know, man. I'll have to wait and see, because I've said that so many times, but I haven't been able to do it on my previous videos. But I wanted to do a part 2 on. But yeah, with that, I'm closing. Shalom.